This is one thing brakes, but a video showing you that you can do it one-handed. And clips that hold the with a screwdriver to back it off the sub brake caliper off. Alright, so I got the retaining clips off. You can see them down there on the ground. And I cleaned up the caliper a little bit just earlier with some brake cleaner. But now I'm going to undo the two bolts that hold it on. I've already put the socket on the one at the top, and then the one at the bottom is right there. So now I'll take those off. So you may have noticed that I have the wheel turned. That's to allow more access to the bolts as I'm taking them off. I got me a little piece of... You may have noticed that I have the wheel turned some. That's to give me more access when undoing the bolts off the backside and working with taking the caliper off. But you notice I have a little cheater bar on my ratchet to help break these bolts loose, because they're usually on pretty tight. I'll hold up the brake caliper with my knee, get the tension off the top bolt. Undo it, and then I'm going to take brake caliper, take it loose, set it up top right here, and then go work on it from there. Alright, so this is looking into the brake caliper with the old brake pads on there. They're not really in that bad of shape. What had happened is I could tell that the rotors were worn some, causing a vibration. So I'm just going ahead and changing out the pads and the rotors at the same time and be done with it. It doesn't seem necessarily too early with... Alright, so this is looking into the brake caliper with the old brake pads on there. They're not really in that bad of shape. What had happened is I could tell that the rotors were worn some, causing a vibration. So I'm just going ahead and changing out the pads and the rotors at the same time and be done with it. It doesn't seem necessarily too early with 94,000 miles on the car. So for these pads, it's going to be a little hard to show. But basically, I'm just going to push them out, push them to the center with my hand, and they'll snap out of there. So we'll see if I can show me doing that. All right. So just push. So just push. This, these pads came from the factory. This part basically being adhesive to keep it stuck to this. So I'll pop it out. One brake pad down, and then push with my finger from the back side on this one. Wow, there's something. Alright, so now I'm going to take a C-clamp and position it on the brake caliper. Alright, so now I'm going to take a C-clamp and position it on the brake caliper. And start pressing this cylinder back in. So you have to do this so that once you put the new brake pads on, basically if you put the new brake pads on and didn't press the cylinder back in, it would not go over the brake rotor. You can get another bite here at it. Now we'll put the new brake pads in, but first I'll apply grease at the points at which the brake pads slide. Alright, so now I've got the slide points greased. Didn't think anybody needed to see me just grease the joints. That's not anything difficult. Slide points greased. Didn't think anybody needed to see me just grease the joints. That's not anything difficult to do there. And then this snaps into the back of that cylinder that I pushed in, and it also goes up in these joints. So basically you want to push it down first and then push it back. Locked in there real good. Good. So, and this, what I was talking about earlier, how from the factory they came with adhesive on the back. These brake pads basically just have a big sticker on the side with adhesive, and pull that off, and then just like I did with the back one, this I'm gonna push the bottom end first. Makes more sense. Alright, try it again. So, this time I'm bringing the top in first, and then I'll scoop the bottom in. And I push up on the ends of the calipers with my hand to help it go in. Once I make sure that the top's in, I can tape and using the end of my ratchet or the end of a hammer, bring the bottom in. Because there's tension with this holding it on, so it's a little tight. Use this screwdriver. Looks like it's seated pretty good. Alright. So, and what I'm also doing is I'm going to be changing out the rotor. So, since this one's been on here for a long, well, 90,000 miles, should be froze up a little bit. So, knock it off and then I'll get my other one, bolt it right on. Alright, got my new rotor to go on. Set this right here, it's resting on the dust shield. Set this right here, it's resting on the dust shield and the tie rod in. So I'll go ahead and put these little clips back on, try to help hold it a little flush. If you have a problem with it coming off while you're trying to put the caliper on, you can always just put the lug nuts, put 2 lug nuts on there to hold it steady. And now I'll start to put the caliper back on. Make sure that when you go to put it on that you don't have the brake line crimped, and it's in the same direction of things before. You see how it slid on there. Had I not pressed in the cylinder with that C-clamp, it wouldn't have been able to slide on. So finding the hole sometimes on this is a little tricky. You see that I'm lifting it up with my knee. Not too bad. Got the first bolt in. I'll snug it down hand tight. Get my second bolt. Go in from the bottom, and I'll lift up some with my hand. I don't know if we'll be able to see that. You should be able to see it. Alright, so I got the bolt just resting in there. I'm going to lift up a little bit to find. When I broke them loose, I used a cheater bar, and that's what I'm going to use to tighten them up. They need to be real tight. If this falls off while you're going down the road, you're in a bad way. Had a brother-in-law that did his brakes, and he didn't tighten it up good, and basically it came loose and destroyed his rim. So, worst things could have happened, but so get it on the nut. Now we're ready to put the wheel back on, let it down, and then we're done. And the wheel on. I like to put both of my knees on the wheel. Kind of, I put it in the spokes to help pick the wheel up. Put my knees on either side of the wheel. And get the lug nut started. Important thing when tightening up your wheel, you want to make sure that it's centered before you tighten down one single nut. So what I like to do is tighten them kind of in a cross star pattern. When I'm tightening them up, I'll wiggle the wheel with my knees while I'm getting the hand on it. Like that. And make sure everything gets centered in on there good. So if you go to tighten the wheel and everything's not centered, you could mess up warp the wheel or bend the rim in a way to where it won't ever balance and ride just right. So things to consider. I'm going to get my torque wrench and pull a little bit. See how I'm going in like the star pattern. What I'm gonna do. That's it. Jack it up, let the weight off of the jack stand, let the jack stand down, and I will have done one side of the front brakes. I already did the other side. I waited to the last side to show everybody. But thanks for watching, and don't think that you can't do something because you have a disability. Thanks.